Oh boy. Actually filming on time this time around. I didn't procrastinate, so there's no excuse not to get this video out. What's the over-under that I screw that up? Hello everybody, welcome to another episode of Ian Talks. Before we get in today's episode, I just wanted to go ahead and pause for a second and thank all of you guys for the love on the last episode of Forever Talking and all the WrestleMania coverage that we did in the last episodes of Ian Talks and all the support and love that the channel has gotten. It means the absolute world, and if you could do me a huge favor, it would help a lot if you could like this video down below and subscribe to the page. We have a goal, or I have a goal, where I would love to hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year, which gives us a whole bunch of time. So I figure if we get to 500 subscribers by the end of, I don't know, July or midway through August, then we're in pretty good shape. It's been growing, and it's just super awesome to see. I think we're building a really good community here, and I just appreciate everybody who checks in and text message and takes the time to leave a comment down below and everything that comes with being a fan of a YouTube page. And I appreciate you taking the time out of your day to come talk to me about various things that really don't matter in the grand scheme of things, but are important to us because it's entertainment. So anyway, about a day ago, 2 days ago maybe, a trailer for a sequel for a movie that came out a long time ago, by a long time ago, I mean about 5 years ago, released, and I am talking about Joker 2. Or Joker Folia Do, or Folia Duh, or Folia whatever. I don't know the actual pronunciation. I call it Folia Do. I don't actually believe that's how you pronounce it. I believe it's Folia Duh. But for this video, we're just going to call it Joker 2. The original Joker movie came out in 2019, starring Joaquin Phoenix, and was directed and written, I believe, by... oh my god. Written and directed by Todd Phillips. You know when you're like, you know his name, but you can't think of his name? It happens to me whenever I'm in front of camera, and it's very important. And I'm a professional, but, you know, what's the... you know, I fucked up. The Joker movie has been a movie that's been in development, and I'm taking you back to 2019, for a very, very, very long time. I believe it went through a lot of shit trying to get the picture off the ground, and this was at a point in time where Warner Brothers were like, why are we releasing the Joker movie, which I believe was coming off the back end of the Suicide Squad, which had Jared Leto's Joker. We know how that went. Yeah. And then they figured out that Todd Phillips was directing the movie, and everybody was like, I don't know about that one, because he directed the Hangover movies. That's what he's known for, right? And while that is true, Todd Phillips is mostly known for the incredibly popular comedic series or trilogy of movies, The Hangover. He works a lot with Bradley Cooper on his films. He also released War Dogs, which wasn't like a critically acclaimed, successful film by any means, but I actually really love that movie. But whenever you're trying to create something as complex and as like emotionally driven and dramatic as like a Joker origin movie would be, maybe Todd Phillips isn't the first choice you may think of. However, we figured out that they were casting Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix is a brilliant, brilliant actor. And it feels like when they were creating this movie, we're just trying to chase the dragon of maybe somebody who could live up to Heath Ledger's performance, who had an absolute field day and was unbelievable as the Joker. And we thought that that was probably never going to be touched again. So it's 2019, the Joker movie comes out. It has a lot of ties and references to the Taxi Driver movie and this and that and the other, and Robert De Niro's in it, and the trailers came out, and it looked great when it was coming out. And fun fact, the movie's phenomenal. Joaquin Phoenix, I believe, ended up winning the Academy Award or won an Oscar, I believe. The movie made over $1 billion at the box office. Todd Phillips, this is the biggest movie he's ever made, I believe. And immediately Warner Brothers was like, hey, let's make a second one. And to my knowledge, Joaquin Phoenix wasn't really interested in bringing this Joker into a franchise universe sort of films. And neither was Todd Phillips. They could have totally just put this off to the side and really said, yeah, this isn't really the Joker. This is just a guy who wears like clown makeup or whatever. They do a lot that they possibly can to kind of separate itself. Sure, Bruce Wayne's in the movie and Thomas Wayne's in the movie and it's in Gotham, but Arthur Fleck is the Joker. And I guess they you could say that they separate themselves a little bit more to try and make it a standalone, but to be honest, we don't really know a lot about the Joker's origin story as is. The Killing Joke is probably the more definitive thing that we've gotten as in the comic book world as what the Joker's actual origin is. And this movie takes some elements from that, but not exactly word for word, bar for bar. But Todd Phillips was very intrigued, I believe, to make the second movie when Warner Brothers approached him and asked him to do it. He wrote the script, and the script ended up convincing Joaquin Phoenix to come back and reprise the role as Arthur Fleck, playing the Joker once again. Which I'm sure was no easy decision for him, as he probably doesn't want to get into the franchise world, and this movie, I'm sure, is not going to end up doing that again. But he doesn't, that character as Joaquin Phoenix is a method actor, so that's very demanding on his body and his mental state, and it's a pretty big commitment. I'm dealing in rumor and innuendo here. I don't know, how much playing Arthur Fleck actually impacts him. I'm not on set. I can't answer those things for you. I can just tell you what I see, and I know how phenomenal actors do what they do, and Heath Ledger was no different. He was a method actor. He made himself believe he is the Joker, and I think a lot of people believe that Joaquin Phoenix does the exact same thing. But maybe it's different, and I don't know. So fast forward in time, Todd Phillips writes Joker 2. He gives the script to Joaquin Phoenix. Joaquin Phoenix says, I'm in. They cast Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn, which, in my mind, brilliant choice. Lady Gaga was absolutely phenomenal in A Star Is Born. I love that movie a lot. Todd Phillips worked a little bit on that movie, and this seems like a really good choice. She's a phenomenal actress, as well as a phenomenal musical artist. She has that Harley Quinn kind of look, and for a story purpose, the Joker going to prison, meeting Harley Quinn, that's a natural progression of the Joker storyline, right? And then we got one more news, that this isn't your traditional movie. This is a musical. And whenever it was leaked or announced or shown that the new Joker movie was going to be a musical, that turned off and freaked out a lot of people. However, whenever I saw that news, I first thought to myself, I'm not really a massive fan of musicals, but this makes a lot of sense in this world, and it's something that I think that they could pull off. If done correctly, I'd have to see it first. And then the trailer for Joker 2 was released, and I can confidently say that this is a prediction of mine that Joker 2 is going to be the next classic. I understand it's a musical. We got more information about it. It's more of a jukebox musical, so there's going to be songs that we really know kind of well, but shown in this different light, sung in a different way, and shown through the mental state of a deteriorating Arthur Fleck, which makes a lot of sense. The budget for this movie was over $200 million, and make no mistake, that's unbelievable. That is an unreal amount of money, and some of the Marvel movies that have come out today weren't that much money. I actually don't believe Avengers Infinity War's budget was that much. I could be totally wrong, but $250 million for a movie is unreal. Now, a movie that came out recently that had a budget of about the same was the Indiana Jones film, but that had such a large budget because of reshoots, and they couldn't get this to work, or this was broken, or this was fucked up, or this, that. Joker 2, from my knowledge and what I believe, is that they spent $220 million just making this movie look as stunning and as beautiful and as gorgeous as possible, and looking at the trailers, I was sucked in immediately. If I had to predict what this movie is going to be, Joker 2, this is going to be La La Land in a very dark, twisted, destructive manner. Todd Phillips understands the character that he created, and he predicts and he describes Arthur as having music in him, and this movie is going to show what that means, what Arthur sees, what he feels. When he's dancing down the staircase to the cops behind him in the first movie, it just looked like a fucking weirdo dancing down the staircase, looked like that to us as well, but we're gonna see it through his eyes now. He falls in love with another patient who I don't believe is going to end up being a doctor in this film. It's going to be a patient in Arkham Asylum, just like Arthur is, Harley Quinn or Lady Gaga. And Arthur, this movie is going to be the pixelization of love and what Arthur is feeling, happiness and joy and freedom, and through music, through color, through visualization. And the person who did the music for the original Joker film, which was absolutely phenomenal, Hildur, is coming back, I believe, to do Joker 2. And this being a musical, more free reign, more identity, more ability to do what she needs to do or wants to do in this film. But being able to make it an audio sense, but seeing what you hear from the perspective of somebody twisted and demented and not all right in the head. And I know that people are afraid that this movie is going to just be all song and dance throughout the entire film. It's not going to be that in any capacity, I don't believe. There's going to be story beats here. There's going to be narratives here. There's going to be dialogue. And I think that the music will be in tone and placed sprinkled throughout to show how Arthur's feeling in that moment. But looking at the shots and just the detail of everything that we've seen in that second trailer alone, people are concerned because they want the original sequels of classic movies to just be bigger, badder, better than the original one was. And they're worried because this movie is going to be a musical, so they don't think it can be that. I highly disagree, because when I look at the Joker 2 trailer, it's bigger, better, and badder than the original one was. It just looks absolutely gorgeous. And I really believe that Harley Quinn, Joaquin Phoenix, and Todd Phillips, Lady Gaga, Joaquin Phoenix, and Todd Phillips, and Hildur cooked to an immaculate level in this film. And I really believe that this movie's going to win Academy Awards and it's going to win Oscars. And I could be totally misled by the trailer, but there's something about it where you look at it and you look at the shots and you look at the detail behind everything and you think to yourself, this looks like the shit. And I'm so excited to see it. Joker 2, Joker Folie à Deux, whatever, I don't know how to pronounce it. I'm very confident that this movie is going to be unbelievable, and that's why you shouldn't be concerned about it being a musical. I think a lot of people are going to love it. So anyways, that's all I have to really talk about Joker 2. I'm so excited for that movie. I gotta go see Monkey Man this weekend. That movie spiked my radar, but it looks like it's got a lot of shaky cam shit going on. I don't really care about the Godzilla Kong thing anymore. I think that's kind of run out its track for me, but I heard it's alright. I think I'm really going to try and get to see Monkey Man. That'll probably be next week's episode. If not, it'll be something else. I'll figure it out. I always figure it out in the end. But yeah, like this video if you could. It would mean a lot. Subscribe to the page, trying to reach our goal of 1,000 by the end of the year, or 500 by the end of summer. I mean, we can do a shorter goal if you guys would want. We could do like 300 by the end of, I don't know, April. That might be too soon, but you know, we'll see. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. It means a lot. I love you all, and we'll see you on the next one. Peace, love, adios, and bye-bye.